Welcome to another Google Workspace Basics tutorial, Google Calendar. We're going to talk about scheduling in this one. Four main items we want to hit in this video. We're going to talk about scheduling an event and adding guests, attaching an agenda, adding video conferencing, and how to cancel an event. First on our to-do list is to talk about scheduling an event and adding guests. Google Calendar's website address is calendar.google.com. Once you're there, you can create a new event by clicking anywhere on your calendar. So let's say that we want to create a new meeting. We're going to click anywhere in the blank space here on the third day, and now we get some options that will pop up and we can fill this out. You'll want to go ahead and give your meeting a title there in that first line, and then you can dictate what kind of meeting this is going to be. By default, it's an event. You could say that this is an out of office time. You could dictate a specific working location. You could add this to your task list on Google Tasks, or you could set up some appointment slots. You can further dial in the time frame here by clicking anywhere in this gray area as soon as that box is highlighted. By default, the checkbox next to all day will be selected, but you can uncheck that and then pick a specific time for your meeting. With the next drop-down box, you can decide whether or not you want the meeting to repeat, and you have lots of different customization options here. If you click Find a Time, that is going to open up your calendar into the hour-by-hour view. This could be very helpful to look at your calendar if you have a lot of events already on a specific day to see where you have some free time available. In addition to that, if you go ahead and click Add Guests and type in the name of your guest, their calendar view will pop up on the screen as well. This makes it much simpler to find a common time that you both don't have a calendar meeting already established. If you don't want to look at the hour-by-hour view, you can just skip over this part and then you can add your guests here on this box. If you have multiple guests, you can add them one at a time. Just start typing their name one by one and they will get an invitation as well. So we're going to skip down in our agenda here and we're going to cover adding video conferencing as well right now. So that's just the next box on this list. It's this little blue drop-down box. You click that. And then you're only going to have one option by default. Google Meet is a video conferencing platform. If you click that option, it will go ahead and generate a new Google Meet meeting link that will be shared with you and any guests that you add to the calendar invite. My organization uses Zoom, so I've got an add-on here. It's the Zoom Meeting add-on. If you're a Zoom user, you can add the add-on as well. I did a quick Google search for Zoom Meeting Google Workspace add-on. The first option on the list is the one that you want. This is what it looks like. You'll click install. It's a really solid add-on. It doesn't cost anything. It makes it really easy for all of your different Google Workspace things like Google Calendar and Gmail to connect together with your Zoom account. I highly recommend downloading it if you're a Zoom user. So I'll click the Zoom meeting option, and there you have it. We've got our Zoom meeting, the passcode, everything is automatically generated with just one click. You may or may not have access to this feature depending upon your Google Workspace account. You do have the ability to add a room or a location here with this next option. I believe everybody has access to location, but only specific accounts have access to rooms. In my case, I can browse all of the available rooms that are available. They've gone ahead and entered the amount of people that can fit in each one of those rooms. If you work in a place where there are a lot of different meeting spaces, this is a nice way to kind of look and see if one, a space is available, and two, if it will house the appropriate amount of people that you're going to have in your meeting. Now, if you just want to add a location, you can just start typing in an address. It'll use Google Maps to find some options. You click the one you want, and it types in a location. Now we will backtrack a bit, and we're going to cover number 2 on our agenda, which is attaching an agenda. This menu down here with the almost 3 dashing lines, this is where you can attach an agenda. If you just click anywhere in this gray space, you can add a description, you can add any individual links that you would like here. One little quick tip that I find very helpful: many times my calendar invites are dictated by a conversation that I have within Gmail. Now, because of that, whenever I go to add my description, it sometimes can be kind of time consuming to kind of type all of that out, adding information such as who I was talking to, where we're going to meet, all of this stuff. But did you know that each email in Gmail has a unique URL? So what I do is I will copy the corresponding Gmail message URL and I will paste that into this description box. That way, whenever I go to attend this meeting, I can just click that link and it will open up that Gmail conversation. I use this constantly. I think that it's a great hidden kind of hack. Now, one other option that you have down below here is to create meeting notes. If you click that button, that's going to generate a blank Google document. Now, the cool part about that is that that note is going to be shared with anybody that is included on your calendar invite. They're going to have view access only, so they're not going to be able to edit it, but they'll at least be able to get onto the document. And then once the meeting starts, if you want to give them editing privileges, you can do so at that time. Another option to include is to add an attachment. So if you need to add a picture or anything like that, you can do that here. So for my demo purposes, I'm in my Workspace demos calendar. If you want to add this calendar invite to a different calendar of yours, you can click this box. That will allow you to expand this dropdown, and then you can select the appropriate calendar that you meant to activate this invite for. You can dictate with this dropdown whether or not you're free or busy. And then for this final dropdown box, you may or may not have your calendar visible to other people, but if you do, you can decide, well, I don't want other people to know that I've got a doctor's appointment, for example. So you could set the visibility to private, and that enables it so that if you do have your calendar shared with other folks, they're not going to be able to see this specific calendar event. It's really nice that I've got my coworkers' calendars over here. I can just activate those anytime, but sometimes there are events that they probably don't want me to see, so they can change that visibility with this dropdown. You can also add a notification, so if you want to be notified at a specific time, a week before, the same day, or even custom, sometimes I like to get a notification about 5 minutes before the meeting. I'll put that in there. You'll get a notification that it's time to get on over to that meeting. And then lastly, down here at the bottom, if you are using Zoom, you have the option to add a Zoom attachment. If you click that, it will open up another window. The Zoom attachments, at least for my account, include any whiteboards that maybe we had used previously. Now at this point, I am ready to save this event, so I can click this button, and now we can see our new event on this page. If I need to edit any events and change anything or add any additional guests, I can just click on the event and then go up here and click on this little pencil icon. And that brings us back right into the same menu where again, we can add guests, we can add any additional notes, anything we need to do, we can do that here. Another little quick hack, if you have a multiple day event, you can just click and drag as long as you hold down the mouse button, and that will make it a lot easier. Instead of going in here and saying, I want it to go from Wednesday to Saturday, I just clicked and dragged and the calendar did the rest. All right, we checked off 3 items on our to-do list. We've only got one other item to cover. That's canceling an event. To cancel an event, very simple. Click on the event, click on the trash can. The event is canceled. If there were any guests as a part of that event, they will also receive cancellation notices. One thing that I didn't realize before is that if you delete an event on accident, you don't have to go and recreate the event. Your deleted events are saved for up to 30 days. You click the gear icon here, you go to trash, you select the appropriate calendar from the left-hand side. There's our event that we just deleted. If we click that, we can then click this restore button and check that out. There's our calendar event right back where it was. And with that, we've wrapped up another Google Workspace tutorial, this time talking about scheduling with Google Calendar.